As we grow older, there's a growing feeling that the world has started to pass us by. People over 60 often feel invisible. Strangers don't make eye contact. Shop assistants serve them indifferently. Family members stop asking for advice, and conversations are interrupted as if their words don't matter. This isn't just a feeling, it's a painful reality millions of seniors face. The sense of being valued, needed, and influential disappears. You used to make decisions, help your children, manage households, lead projects. Now it feels like none of it matters. A void appears, filled with anxiety, apathy, irritability. You begin to feel like you no longer belong. This isn't just emotion, it's social decline, and it has real health consequences. A study published in the European Journal of Geriatrics found that older adults who feel unimportant are 60% more likely to develop depression and cognitive decline, twice as likely to lose interest in life, and 3 times less likely to seek medical help even when necessary. These people start to fade away, first from society, then from themselves. And that is frightening. But there is a way out. Watch this video to the end to learn how to reclaim your sense of worth, dignity, and inner strength. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It may help others who feel invisible find their way back to themselves. The issue of invisibility in later life is not imagined. It's a global crisis. According to the International Association for Psychosocial Aging, over 70% of elderly people worldwide feel socially excluded. It's more than just loneliness. It's the belief that their opinions are understood, that they're a burden, that they're slow, irrelevant, inadequate. This mindset erodes identity from within. It leads to low self-esteem, disturbed sleep, poor appetite, increased cortisol levels, weakened immunity. It accelerates aging, increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, and even cancer. All this from one feeling: I don't matter. Many give up, isolate themselves, avoid social interaction, turn down invitations, stop leaving home. If no one expects them, they stop trying. But this thinking leads nowhere. A body without purpose declines faster than from any illness. That's why restoring significance is not about emotion. It's about survival. The first thing to realize is that significance is not something others give you. It's something you generate from within. Even if no one invites, asks, or notices you, you can still be seen. Take back control of attention. Start small. Focus on what you're good at: cooking, gardening, home repairs, reading, history, pet care. Share it. Talk to a neighbor, comment in a group, offer help to someone you know. The moment you begin giving, you start receiving. That sense of I can contribute creates a new wave of energy. The brain finds motivation and the body responds. Even if at first it feels like no one cares, keep going, because invisibility is often not how others see us, but how we've begun to see ourselves. Significance starts with self-perception. If you keep telling yourself, it's all over, I'm worthless, no one cares, the brain accepts it and stops trying. Dopamine drops, and everything feels gray and meaningless. That's when willpower matters. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there will be resistance, but even simple actions, brushing your hair, changing clothes, cooking something new, stepping outside, shift the inner energy. Self-respect returns, and with it, external respect, because the world, as harsh as it may be, often mirrors our internal state. To regain significance, you must stop waiting. Many seniors get stuck in the "if someone calls, I'll respond" loop. If they ask, I'll answer. If they offer help, I'll accept. But this passive stance makes you disappear. The world listens to those who speak. It sees those who move. If you don't send signals, people forget you. It's not cruelty. It's how attention works. So the practical step is to take initiative. Don't wait for a call. Make one. Don't wait for an invitation. Suggest a visit. Don't wait for help. Offer it. Initiative isn't intrusion. It's a way of saying, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm still valuable. At first, it may feel terrifying, especially after years of silence. But that first response, even a brief one, can be the moment that starts bringing you back to life. The second key step is to create the appearance of action, even when energy is low. When you stay home day after day, your perceived importance fades, not because you've become less worthy, but because you've disappeared from people's radar. To be seen again, you don't need to get a job or join a club. All it takes is rhythm. A morning walk, a grocery run, a visit to the library, a trip to the pharmacy, participation in an online interest group. These are your points of presence. They build the image of a person who is still actively living, and others notice. Neighbors, pharmacists, cashiers, passers-by, they are not just random people. They form a network that keeps you anchored in social reality. Once you're seen, you're counted. And where there is acknowledgement, there is respect. The third step is to keep learning and developing skills. This is especially vital in the age of digital isolation. Many seniors feel helpless with technology, but that can change. Learning how to use a smartphone, messaging apps, video calls, or banking tools gives a sense of control and confidence. The more you know, the stronger your self-esteem. This works at any level. Trying new recipes, practicing breathing techniques, reading contemporary books, solving puzzles, watching educational videos. All of this stimulates the brain, provides conversation topics, and gives reasons to feel proud. Community learning centers, libraries, and cultural hubs often offer free courses for seniors. They're not just places of learning, they're spaces of inclusion. And the feeling of inclusion is the opposite of invisibility. The fourth step is to strengthen your physical presence as much as possible. This might seem unrelated to significance, but your outer condition deeply affects your inner worth. When someone slouches, wears worn-out clothes, avoids mirrors, they send a message. Don't notice me. But when posture is upright, clothing is neat, and steps are confident, it radiates presence. Even light exercise, gentle stretching, daily grooming, comfortable shoes, a tidy hairstyle, All of this shapes the image of someone who respects themselves, and people who respect themselves command respect from others. According to researchers at the Center for Applied Social Psychology at the University of Helsinki, seniors who maintain their appearance are 38% more likely to feel confident and twice as likely to avoid social isolation. The fifth practical step is to reassess your circle. If people around you constantly criticize, interrupt, ignore, it tears you down. Even one toxic person can undo months of progress in rebuilding your sense of self-worth. So ask yourself, who supports me and who drains me? You might need to narrow your circle, but make it warmer. Sometimes just one sincere connection is enough to feel important again. And that connection can come from volunteer work, local events, or themed meetups. The key is to stay open, because significance isn't about loud achievements. It's about knowing that your presence makes a difference, even if just for one person. When someone stops feeling needed, the body begins a quiet breakdown. That's not a metaphor. It's a biological fact. Losing life purpose lowers dopamine, the motivation chemical, serotonin, the mood regulator, and oxytocin, the bond and safety hormone. This leads to apathy, sleep disruption, chronic pain, and slower metabolism. Even the immune system suffers. According to the American Center for Geriatric Research, seniors who feel useless have up to 40% lower immune cell activity, meaning just feeling empty makes the body more vulnerable to illness. It's terrifying, because this breakdown doesn't come from disease, but from the silent belief that your time is over. But that belief must be destroyed, because it's false. Significance is not a privilege of the young. It's a choice at any age. A senior can be a source of wisdom, patience, attention, and experience. But for that to be seen, action is required. Start by stepping outside your personal bubble. Many elderly people speak only with family or with no one at all. It starts to feel like no one wants their opinion. But one comment in a gardening group, one suggestion in an online club, one helping hand to a neighbor, and suddenly it becomes clear. The voice of an older person matters, not out of politeness, but as a real anchor. Young people often drift. A senior's perspective can ground them. Maybe not everyone, but someone. And that gives strength. Sometimes significance returns through creativity. You don't need to be an artist or write books. Creativity means transforming something, knitting, cooking new meals, taking nature photos, writing short stories, keeping a journal, painting by numbers. All these awaken the inner self, release emotion, and bring results. And where there's a result, there's satisfaction. That glow, that's what others notice. People who are engaged shine in the eyes. And that light can't be faked. It can only be restored by reconnecting with your true self, the one who does, feels, creates. Significance doesn't need a stage or applause. It needs recognition, even if only from yourself. Each evening, it helps to ask, what good did I do today? Whom did I help? What made me smile? What new thing did I learn? These simple questions turn a day into a lived experience, not just a stretch of time. That becomes your foundation, because significance isn't when others praise you. It's when you know why you woke up and for whom. Sometimes just for yourself, sometimes for a beloved plant, sometimes to finish a letter or a thought. In these small purposes lies great strength, because purpose is a direction, and where there's direction, there is movement, and movement brings life back. It's also important to understand that being significant doesn't mean being everything to everyone. It means being meaningful to at least one person, even if that person is yourself. Sometimes it's enough to look in the mirror and say, "I deserve to exist." It might sound strange, but words hold power, especially when they haven't been spoken in a long time. Acknowledging your own worth is not arrogance, it's emotional hygiene. If you don't feel your value, it likely means someone took that feeling from you. But it didn't vanish. It's just asleep. And it awakens the moment you start to act, even if it's slow, even if it's shaky, as long as it's honest. With time, many people begin to feel invisible, even to their own families. Children are busy, grandchildren are growing, friends pass away. It feels like the only things around are walls. But loneliness is not a life sentence. It's a pause in which a new form of connection can begin. If you used to wait for a call, now you can send a message. If you used to stay silent, now you can speak. If you used to feel shy, now is the time to allow yourself to be seen. Because significance doesn't come from outside. It's built from within. And only you decide whether to stay in the shadows or step into the light. Even if that light is faint at first, it grows stronger with every step. Feeling invisible in old age is not just about external circumstances. It's rooted in how we see ourselves. When a person goes too long without feedback, without appreciation, without genuine interest, the mind starts to doubt its own worth. That's not weakness. It's the brain's natural response to a lack of attention, which it reads as a threat. According to the International Association of Gerontology, seniors who feel insignificant have 2.5 times higher anxiety levels and nearly triple the risk of depression. This shows that feeling unseen literally damages health. Appetite drops, sleep deteriorates, chronic illnesses worsen. But the key point is, these effects are reversible, and recovery doesn't start with medication. It starts with actions that restore a sense of control over one's own life. One of the simplest ways to begin is by taking initiative. Don't wait for someone to call. Be the one who picks up the phone. Don't wait to be invited. Offer help. Even the smallest gesture, cooking a meal and sharing it with a neighbor, donating a book to a library, sending a holiday message, starts a chain reaction. And it's that feedback loop that seniors often miss the most, because significance isn't some abstract feeling. It's the concrete awareness. I did something and it mattered to someone. When that awareness appears, even posture changes. The back straightens, the eyes brighten, the voice becomes steadier, because now you are back in life. Many seniors are afraid to start something new believing old age is no time for change. But that's a misconception. In fact, aging offers a rare resource: time. And that time can be used not just for physical care, but for growth. Learning how to use a smartphone, trying a new recipe, joining an online group, listening to lectures, watching educational videos. All of this expands your mental world. And the broader your outlook, the more connection points you have with the outside world, which means more chances to feel significant. Today's world responds quickly to activity, comments, likes, replies. All of it feels value. And even if it's virtual, the brain sees it as real. It sends one clear signal: I matter. Regaining significance also means embracing your life experience. Many older adults underestimate how valuable their wisdom is. They think things are different now, or no one cares anymore. But that's not true. Times have changed, but the basic rules of life haven't. Solving practical problems, being patient, listening, speaking gently, navigating tough situations. These are skills that no school can teach, and only someone who's lived can pass them on. The key is to share not with judgment, but from the heart. When words come from that place, they resonate. Maybe not instantly, but they linger, because true significance isn't about fast impact. It's the trace you leave behind. Another path to reclaiming significance is self-care, not as a duty, but as an act of self-love. When you look after your body, eat well, stay active, and rest properly, you're affirming, I have value, and others notice that. A person who is neat, smells fresh, speaks calmly, is perceived differently. They're respected not for looks, but for how they treat themselves. And that attitude is contagious. It reminds others that care isn't weakness, it's strength. And being needed doesn't mean doing the impossible. It means not forgetting yourself, because someone who remembers themselves is never truly out of sight. They cannot be ignored. In many cultures, old age is seen as a symbol of wisdom. But in today's fast-paced world, that truth often fades. That's why it's up to older people to remind others of their value, not through complaints, but through presence. To be wherever you can be helpful, to join, to share, to listen. And you don't need a stage. Just being in the moment is enough. Offering support when someone's hurting, giving encouragement, smiling at the cashier, comforting a young parent in a store. These may seem like nothing, but they weave the fabric of human life. And each gesture returns the feeling, I belong here. I am part of this world, not its shadow. Sometimes the feeling of invisibility comes not because others overlook you, but because you've stopped noticing yourself. It starts subtly. You stop voicing your needs. You turn down invitations. You accept discomfort just to avoid causing trouble. You slowly erase your own presence from life. And one day, you wake up feeling like you've become transparent, that your thoughts, your feelings, your wishes don't matter. But it's in that moment that the most important action must be taken. Reclaim your right to be here. This doesn't require dramatic words or radical change. It takes just one decision: to stop living as a background character in someone else's story and start living as the author of your own. Ask yourself, what do I enjoy? What do I want? What can I do today to feel needed again? Because every person is a unique world. And when that world fades into the background, everyone loses. But when it lights up again, it becomes a beacon for others. You must stop apologizing for your age. Age is not a reason to disappear. It's a reason to speak up, not loudly or intrusively, but calmly and with dignity. You have the right to be heard, the right to choose, the right to make mistakes, the right to enjoy, to take your time over breakfast with your favorite bread, to have a cup of tea with jam, to enjoy silence when you need peace, or music when you feel like dancing. These aren't trivial things. They are proof that you're living, not merely surviving, but truly living. Your presence in this world already holds value. Your view, your voice, your opinion, all of it can impact someone. Offer support, give insight, spark change, even if you don't realize it. Sometimes a single word spoken at the right moment can change the course of someone's life. And maybe you are the one who can say that word. If you feel like you've become less visible, don't withdraw. Remember who you were, the one who built, who raised, who healed, who taught, who supported, who stood strong when life got hard. And if it seems like all of that is behind you, it's just an illusion. Your significance didn't disappear. It's still here, waiting for you to see it again, not through the tired eyes of doubt, but through the eyes of someone who knows their worth. Reclaiming your sense of importance is not vanity. It's a necessity, because without it, self-respect begins to fall apart. And without self-respect, nothing holds. Not health, not relationships, not the will to live. That's why it's essential to put yourself back where you belong, at the center of your own life. Support this video with a like and a subscription if you believe that every person at any age has the right to feel needed. This isn't about recognition or fame. It's about the simple human truth. You matter. And if you know someone who feels forgotten, send them this video. Let them hear what maybe no one has said in a long time. You are needed. You are not alone. You matter. And please, leave a comment. Share what helped you feel stronger. Or write something for those who haven't found that strength yet. Let your voice be their support. Because sometimes a single heartfelt line in the comments can pull someone out of darkness. Together, let's make this video a place where hope is restored, where every older person can say, I feel like I exist again.